Reddit's been busy the past few days, with the community making their stance well known on Stalker 2. In the past day, a new post appeared with the title, Stalker 2 Wishlist Mega Thread, clocking in at 2,000 upvotes, with over 800 comments. The user begins by saying, I think it might be helpful to have a dedicated wishlist thread that makes it easy for GSC to not trawl through multiple Steam and Reddit forums. This is not a thread intended to be negative and make commentary on the current state of the game, business practices, speculation, personal attacks, and disappointments. You can do that in any other thread, he adds. I think it's quite clear that what we have here is an excellent foundation that will become our new Stalker for decades to come once things are ironed out. And consensus is that that is achievable through the following. Number 1. A functioning, alive, and dynamic open world. This will just take time. 2. General balancing, hotfixes, and changes, which will work in tandem with point 1. This is a place to primarily discuss point 2. What are some holistic things you would like to see introduced to Stalker 2? Some examples from the user are: tone down the aggressive bloom or iris adjustment to light. The game is too dark as is, and often the brightness you see from inside a building looking out would lead some to believe it's midday, and when you walk outside, it turns to basically night. Brighten the game a smidge as well. General longer days, ×4 mods are pretty on the money at the moment. Make going out at nighttime have distinct advantages as opposed to all trade-offs. This will likely be fixed when the stealth system is turned on. Perhaps even have enemy outposts sleeping at night with fewer sentries. This can go for some mutants or animals too. The stealth system. Bushes, trees, grass counting towards concealment. Would be nice if enemies fired wildly or guessed your location. Right now, there is X-ray vision. That's nothing new. General changes to enemy accuracy. Right now, it's either getting pumped at a distance with a rifle, or pumped at a distance with a shotgun. Ability to turn off the danger status indicator. I know that my complaint largely overlaps with the spawn system, but I would like the option that I don't know all mutants or enemies are dead, because my red status bar and music has returned to normal. I find this can sometimes ruin immersion, and some people don't want to entirely remove their HUD. Flashlight needs to illuminate further in length, as well as be more powerful. Right now it is a lantern, or the lighter from Metro. This is a pretty popular one, and we're definitely going to see more of that. Graphical selection to cast shadows with a torch. Ability to remove the camera tilt when turning the flashlight on and off. When not holding a weapon, select how many hours you would like to sleep. Ability to come across guides in the open world. Rare. Perhaps make it fun if they are with a group. You have to pay extra to go to your desired location as they are already on a job. Binoculars. This one cannot be overstated. Night vision goggles. Perhaps even have to carry batteries and make them expensive so the torch doesn't become redundant. Also make them not work very well in bunkers, indoors, underground, as real night vision goggles require ambient light. To amplify, this also keeps the flashlight in play in the spooky areas. Do something more interesting with the stamina system. Double it or make there be trade-offs. Right now, it's either you download a mod to get rid of it, ruining immersion and no need to carry energy drinks or food, or all of your artifact slots are used to improve endurance. I think planning your trip for your objective is second to none in the Stalker series for both gameplay and roleplay reasons. Percent chance of seeing female stalkers outside of story or encampment-based static NPCs. Yes, there may be a much smaller proportion of women who enter the zone as stalkers, but like in Modern Wars and our fellow player base, they exist. Grenades need to be 5 times more deadly, but way less common and more expensive. Right now, they push people over, and are akin to a shove or downing an opponent in a turn-based RPG to get the upper hand on a turn economy. Way less bandages and medkits, make it difficulty tied perhaps even. I can empty my entire inventory before any task. I know that within 2 minutes I'll have 5 sausages, 5 grenades, anti-rad, and vodka. I think the ammunition is balanced quite well at the moment. You either need to buy a lot of it, unload every weapon, or pick your battles. Again, tying into what makes this game and series so epic. Survival. artifacts to have number values as opposed to descriptions. We are cycling through them to see which ones both say weak but have higher values, and without numbers, we would just be going on the wiki. This is a fairly redundant tax with none of the services that come with the tax. It's time to see what the top replies say. The biggest one says, a free roam after finishing campaign or new game plus. A shame that so many cool weapons and armors are usable only for 1 to 2 hours before the end. Others go on to say things like, I'd love a proper vaulting and climbing system. I can vault over small things, but can't even climb into the back of a truck. That's a bit too 2002 for me. Have all guns on the ground display either red, orange, or green repair status symbols to make looting decisions quicker. I would love to see a sandbox mode eventually, just a game mode that starts with the full map open and lets you play without the main story missions. Another user suggests adding faction wars into the mix. Some nitpicks include, the sounds of the player moving through shrubs and other foliage needs to be louder and more crisp. The crackling of fires should be louder. During storms, all foliage should feel more animate with violent movements. Light from tiny sources such as gas lanterns needs to be spread out a bit more and should have the same color as the original games. That might be a little bit hard to achieve on a completely separate engine, but maybe we'll see. And I suppose to wrap it up here, more people say, I do wish the artifacts were more like SOC, where they were more creative instead of +1 resistance to X, downside, radiation. Knife wielding seems weird to me, it's too slow to take out. And 2 very slow swings, and I'm dead tired and can't swing again. I mean, I weigh like 100 kilograms and am nearly 50 years old, but I can still swing a knife a lot more than that. Some that pop out to me. Reputation actually existing and mattering. Stalker names or faction displayed on crosshair. Monsters dropping loot. And the ability to see real stats of guns, like actual rate of fire, etc. If you care to actually dig through this thread yourself, you definitely can. It's one of the most upvoted threads in the last few days on the r/Stalker subreddit, so it's pretty easy to find. Naturally, I'm not going to get everything that's stated here, but I did get the heavy hitters, and the ones that mostly everyone agreed with. Hopefully, GSC does see this and takes it into account going forward.